Fantastic to see you. Wow, we've had such a moving service already, and I just get to speak to you for a few moments, which is a great privilege. This year I decided to surprise my wife this Christmas, and so I thought about doing something special for her. So I took a map of the world and I put it up in the kitchen. And I brought her in. I said, "Love, I'm going to blindfold you. And I'm going to give you one dart." Be careful. So with this dart, my promise to you is that wherever, while you're blindfolded, as you focus on this world map, wherever the dart goes, that's where I'm going to take you for 2 weeks. After Christmas, sometime in the new year, so we will be missing. So I'm glad to say we'll be spending 2 weeks behind the fridge. We're not going far. We won't be missing. I have an announcement to make this morning. Those magical two words, Happy Christmas, that is going to be said thousands, countless times over the next 24 hours. It's already been said so many times inside this church. But I just want you to know today, it's almost meaningless today where we live, because I don't know whether you read that in a survey conducted of the most sad places in the United Kingdom, we are number 9. Good old Dudley is the 9th saddest place in the whole of the United Kingdom. So it seems pretty pointless wishing anybody happy Christmas because of the geography, the place where we live is so unhappy. But I challenge you today, listen to me carefully, friends. This is going to be short and sweet. I have lived in this area, in the place called Dudley, West Midlands of the United Kingdom, the world, for over 60 years. And I have to say, and hand on heart, I can't say hand on heart because I'm from Dudley. I have to say hand on heart. So if I say hand on heart, I'm having to try. That I have had many sad days, but I have to say that I have never lived a sad life, though I have lived here. So we have to ask the question, and by the way, I believe that some of the happiest people in the world are inside this building right now. Yeah. David, stay with me. The rest of you can sit down for a few. I realize you were still standing. Stay with me. Keep focused. Kids, we love you. Appreciate you, parents. I'm going to take a few moments. It's Christmas Eve. I appreciate there's a lot of excitement in the building, so there should be. I would hate to be pastoring a church that is drab and dull and dowdy and, singing a few old songs and we all go home feeling worse. So I want to talk to you today about the one secret. Say one secret. The one secret to living a happy, blessed, fulfilled life, even though you and I live in the area known as the Black Country, West Midlands, Dudley, United Kingdom, the world. there is a secret. You see, what most of us do is we think that what is going on in our surroundings makes us happy. There's an old saying that people think happiness relies on happenings. So if you live in the wrong street, in the wrong house, in the wrong town, in the wrong country, well, that's why I'm unhappy. Friends, that is not why you're unhappy. There's an old little adage, and it goes like this: wherever you go, there you are. I used to know a lady, she's still alive today, and she would always be on about the house she lived was making her unhappy. She felt there was something about the house, and I do know that there are things that can make houses unhappy in a sense. She had an unhappy marriage, unhappy house. She wanted to move and she kept moving. And I said to her one day, I said, listen, with all seriousness, listen to me. The problem when you move house is you are going to be there when you arrive. Wherever you are, wherever you go, that's where you are. You're there. So we put our hope in the wrong things. But we are a living example of what it feels like today to be on a list of the 9th saddest towns, yet have found the secret of the happiest people in the world. And it is nothing to do with D-U-D-L-E-Y. It's nothing to do with what's out there. Friends, can I just tell you the secret? The secret is nothing to do with your surroundings, but it's to do with inside here. Yeah, go on. You can clap if you want. I'd rather be in the will of God in this town, pastoring this church, than 1,000 miles away, out of the will of God and unhappy. There are two people that have been very much at the forefront of our television screens and in the news of the last few weeks. The first one is Matthew Perry. Many of you will be Friends fans. Many of your lives will have fallen apart because of this man passing away. Many of you will have been shocked and surprised. Many of you will have been beside yourself because you are your friends' addicts. You probably know, it's not secret, it's common knowledge, that Matthew Perry died in his jacuzzi, worth £100 million. Do you know how he died? Some people said, well, he obviously drowned. No, well, he kind of. He died, the autopsy report said, through an overdose of ketamine. Do you know what ketamine is? Ketamine is a form and type of anesthetic. Ketamine detaches you from the pain that you feel and detaches you from the pain of your surroundings. Matthew Perry's life taught us one thing: money doesn't fix pain. You say, wow, Pastor Mark, if I got 1 million, not 100, I'd be happy. Hang on a bit. If he could have found happiness with money, he had no money worries. It is common knowledge that the most suicides happen in areas with the greatest wealth. So friends, do not look to finance and fortune to bring you happiness, because it's out there. And happiness is not something that you can find out there. Are you trying to dull the pain with the drugs that you're on? There are 6 people right now, the Holy Spirit tells me, in this service, and that you are completely reliant on prescription drugs. And 4 of the 6 of you, nobody even knows you're doing it privately. I say that because lost, broken people matter to God. And you matter to Him, and you matter to us. The second person that's been at the forefront, particularly in the last week or so, is a man by the name of Dynamo. Many of you will know he's a magician. Did you know that Dynamo was a kid from Bradford on a council estate with nothing going for his life? But bless his grandfather, his granddad inspired him to be a magician and said, go for it. He didn't realize at the time that he'd become a world-renowned name for his disappearing acts. We saw him one day walking supposedly across the Thames. Now, of course, unless your name is Jesus, you're not going to do that. I don't believe in magic. I do believe in sleight of hand, and I also believe that things can appear to be such, but they're not really. Nevertheless, Dynamo buried himself, or had himself buried in 6 feet of a grave in the last few days, and we saw that he managed to get himself out of it. And so Dynamo has been very much in our world of late. Having said that, the magician disappeared for 4 years from our screens. Ask yourself, where did he go? The answer is attempted suicide. Feeling that life was too much. It is reported that he doesn't have wealth like Matthew Perry, but he does have wealth. 4 million he's accumulated over the last few years. So he's wealthy. But this is what Dynamo said. I realized magic couldn't fix me. So fame and fortune cannot fix the problem. Now, as I close, I want you to think about this. You can move house, area, land, country. You can buy a new car, get a new wife, a new model, get a new husband, trade in the old one this Christmas at the staff Christmas party. Hello, come on, we live in a real world. And believe this is it. I have now found happiness. Friends, we all know that the house, the car, the new relationship will fade. So here's the secret I promised. Don't change house, husband, wife, car. Change heart. Change heart. Because wherever I go, there I am. So I can live in Dudley and be happy. I can live in a demonized house called family. Hello. And be happy. Now, you know, the happiness I'm talking about doesn't mean smiley, smiley. Doesn't mean, oh, dancing all day. It just means that the basic scramble of life, the meaning of life, is settled. So how do we do it? Glad you asked the question. You know, Every one of us in this church today has either been part of the nativity, you know, the shepherd with the tea towel on your head, or maybe you got the great part of Mary or Joseph or the innkeeper. I read of one little lad this week. He's made headline news because somebody filmed him in his class being told he had to open the door of the nativity play. And he was so excited. You've all been to see one or you've been in it. What is the one thing you remember about the nativity? And that is the three kings bringing three gifts. So our feeling about Jesus is he wants us to bring him things. Correct. But in every relationship, it's giving and receiving. Two blind men, rather, in the Bible, in the Gospels. Don't worry, when babies cry, I can shout louder. Or maybe not. Two blind men came to Jesus one day. Jesus, Jesus, please help us, help us. Everybody was going, no, leave him alone. And he said these words, what would you like me to do for you? Can I introduce you to the Jesus that saved me at the age of 17? Born in this town, lived in this town, went to the school next door, so did my wife. Grew up with some of the toughest people in that school. And yet today I'm standing a few meters away on a platform telling you the secret of how my life changed. And Jesus said, what would you have me to do for you? And they said, Jesus, we would like to be able to see. Many of you know my story. It was in my primary and junior school that I was invited to play the piano. It wasn't the first time I played the piano, of course, otherwise that would have been tricky. But the first song that I was ever invited to play was Amazing Grace. What key are you in, David? You're in C. Can you change to F? Just stick on an F chord. I didn't plan this, by the way, so I don't know whether we're going to do it or not, but just stay there, Dave. How sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. We can just about get there. I once was lost, but now was blind, but now I see. So at age 8, I played that. And then at the age of 17, I lived that for the first time. I once was blind, but now I see. There's a verse that I want you to take with you on Christmas Eve. And I want you to think about it today, tomorrow, all over Christmas. It's a beautiful verse, Matthew chapter 11. And this is what it says. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened. By the way, I'm just going to stick on that verse. Thank you. We'll just stick at verse 28. And I will give you rest. Jesus is inviting you today to come to him, or you are weary and burdened, and I will give you, said Jesus, rest. The blind men said, Lord, can we get your attention? Jesus said, what can I do for you? So Jesus today is not the baby in the manger. He's the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He has the power, not just the potential. He has the power right now to invite you. And he says with these words, come to me, every one of you who is weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Everybody from Dudley, West Midlands, everyone from this area, everyone from all of the 50 nations in our church, you can come. All of you who are weary and heavy laden. I describe life like a washing machine in that it's swooshing and whooshing on the inside all of the time, and you can't stop it. The cabinet that the washing machine is in is stable on the outside, and you wouldn't know what was going on the inside, but your soul, your life is like the swooshing, whooshing washing machine. And it never, never stops. Burdens, weariness, tiredness, just a feeling of I can't sort out my life. Now we've already established that fame and fortune won't do it. So don't change house, change heart. How do you do it? I'm going to give you 3 gifts. I'm going to put them in a stocking for you to hang up over Christmas. Are you ready? Number 1, surrender to Jesus and put him in the driving seat. You're driving your life. Yeah, I'm doing okay. But in reality, this message is called this: real tree, fake me. You switched out the plastic tree a number of years ago and said, hey, we're gonna get the real thing this year. But all of the time you're looking at the real tree, you're looking back at a fake me. Fake happiness, fake smile, fake family, fake bank account, trying to impress everybody. Everything's plastic in your life. Jesus said, hey, why don't you get out the driving seat and let me drive? I can't think of a simpler way to say it to you today, friends. Put him in the driving seat. I dare you this Christmas. Without Christ, there is no Christ Mass. Surrender. Say, here I am. Number 2, invite Jesus into your life and feel his peace. Jesus, and listen, some of you don't even believe. Some of you say, no, I'm not going to believe that. I dare you. Go on, put God to the test this Christmas. He's big enough. He can walk all by himself. Did you know? Feel his peace. That's what you're looking for. It's what Matthew Perry sadly was looking for. It's what Dynamo's searching for. Every human being in this church and on this planet right now is searching for inner peace. The only person I know, his name is Jesus. And number 3, yeah, come on. Number 3. I'm going to encourage you to do something that I've been doing now for 40 years. 4 decades. I'm going to encourage you from today to do number 1, number 2, but to do something more meaningful with your life and to find Jesus daily in the Bible. So I'm asking you to do this. Kickstart your day with a few moments in prayer with Jesus. You say, Mark, I can't pray. Neither could I when I started, and I'm still not very good at it. But prayer is a 2-way conversation. It may go like this: as I sit at my kitchen stool. Dear Jesus, thanks so much for this day. You know, I'm worried and concerned about several things. I want to bring them to you, but Lord, I want to thank you that you are the boss. You're the God of the universe. And I want to thank you that you love me and you care about me. And so my prayers are genuine prayers from my heart. I'm going to ask you, starting right now, kickstart your day with a few moments in prayer with Jesus, and the cycle of the washing machine called your soul. He will give you rest. Now I finish with this. Rest does not mean an armchair in the corner at the family party. You ain't gonna get that. Rest doesn't mean a lie-in over Christmas. A rest means this stops scrambling. And it is the greatest feeling in the whole of the world, that no matter what is going on around me, I've changed my life by changing my heart. Would you like to stand with me? In fact, what I'm going to do right now is I didn't plan to do, so I don't know how it's going to work. David, we're going to drop back onto that Amazing Grace. Now, you know we didn't plan this. We're just going to sing it slowly and steadily. Have you sent a Christmas card this year with peace on earth to anybody? Have you received one? You know, Christmas is about peace on earth. Do you know what we often think when we go, oh, Jesus, peace on earth? We think peace on earth means stop wars. It didn't mean that. He is the Prince of Peace. It means stop the war inside of my soul. And you can stop it today like that by surrendering the driving seat to Him. Now this is what we're going to do. You say, oh, it's Christmas Eve. I just wanted to sing Jingle Bells. No, Jingle Bells won't solve the problem. Are you with me? We can do a jingle bell. We'll do something good at the end, aren't we? Jack says yes. But I know that there are at least 50 people, more than 50 people here, that you are weary, heavy laden. The last thing you need right now is the family coming to your house. You're thinking, oh my word, help me, Lord Jesus. Some of you are battling with health issues this Christmas. I would love to just come and pray with you here. So I'm going to be standing right here. I'm going to pray for every one of you. How are we doing on time? Oh, just slightly in the red. We're okay. As we sing, we're going to do 2 verses. We'll sing Amazing Grace twice. That's 2 verses. And I'm going to give every person, lost people matter to God and you matter to us. Bring your partner, your spouse, your aunt, your uncle, your granddad. Grab each other's hand and say, I need you to come with me. Our team are going to be waiting. And I'm just going to pray over everybody. Because I believe in Jesus. I believe in God. And I believe He came to this earth to save you and to touch your life today. Dear Jesus, we thank you for all these wonderful people. Married, unmarried, young, older, middle-aged. All kinds of people. All kinds of problems. I declare today
lost people, hurting people, lonely people matter to God. Lonely people matter to God. Thank you, Jesus. Bless these people with peace like they've never known before, because your word declares, come to me, all you are weary, heavy laden, I will give you peace and rest in Jesus' name. Everybody gave a great shout of praise this morning.